And we're live. Welcome back to another episode of the iFilmmaker podcast. My name is Ariel Martinez, Mr. Cervitelli on the other side of this conversation.
What's going on?
All right. So for those people that are watching this on YouTube, I have a very different camera angle. I was actually just talking to Mr. Cervitelli about that. I left my A6300 at my church, and so I'm using the GH5 now, which actually I'm going to say I actually like it.
Yeah, I like this angle up close and personal with you.
It's definitely. I feel like it's a little too close to me. It's all up in my grill right here. Yeah, usually I have the A6300 with the kit lens 16 to 35, all the way at 16. Nice wide angle of everything. I like the angle. I'm not crazy about how close it is up on my face. But
you get used to it.
I guess I'll get used to it.
But we'll see if everyone starts leaving the YouTube and watching us live, we'll know why.
It's because they're not crazy about looking at my grill. But yeah, I mean, I guess it could work. You guys let us know. Let us know in the comments over on YouTube for this video. Let me know if you like this angle. I could make peace with it, I guess. I don't know.
I'm good. I'm good with it. I need to change mine to match a little bit though. You're like below eye level. I'm a little above, so we'll work it out.
Yeah, I know. Is that all right? So the GH5, I'm using the Sigma 18 to 35 for the lens, and obviously it's at 18, so I can't zoom out anymore, and I cannot push the camera further. Maybe I could just a little bit, but I don't know. I was actually already thinking about getting a wider angle lens, because the widest I can go with all my lenses, well, I guess you could say 16, but that's a kit lens.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be using that for professional work. I was looking at that new Sigma, the 14, the 18 or something like that. Sigma, just put Sigma wide here.
I don't know of it. I'm at 20. I'm at 28 on here.
You're at
28.
Yeah, but you're using your A7S, right?
Yeah, it's full frame.
The full frame. That's
buddy. Yeah, buddy. You know me and the full frames.
Yeah, but that'd be equivalent to like what, 18 or something.
I'm not good at making those conversions, but it's gonna be somewhere around there. Yes.
Your shot though looks very similar to mine in terms of composition.
Yeah.
How far is your camera?
It's like a foot and a half.
A foot and a half from you?
Yeah.
About the same for me.
Yeah.
About a foot and a half, 2 feet. Not from the lens barrel from the actual camera itself.
Yeah, 2 feet max.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks relatively the same.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a Sigma 14 to 24. f2.8. It's an art lens.
Okay.
You know how I love those art lenses, man.
I know that.
They're amazingly sharp. So I wanted to look at more reviews on this lens, but it's nice. $1,200, not bad. Some nice wide angle shots, and I think I want to start doing more time lapses. So this would be a great time lapse wide angle lens.
Yes.
With some zoom capabilities.
My biggest beef with anything wide is it loses sharpness, and for the most part, so it'd be nice to find something that goes that wide.
That's why I want to look at some professional input, I guess, reviews on that. Not only video, but for photography as well. They're the ones that really look at sharpness for lenses.
Yep.
More than anything. So I think that'd be a pretty good lens to look at. Very interested in it.
I concur. Go for it.
For sure. There goes your video.
Yeah, I see that. I'll be right back with that.
Your video's gone. All right. So anyways, I just want to welcome everyone that actually, I don't even have the chat open. Guys, bear with me. Let me open this chat. I'm sure that you guys have been writing.
Oh, yeah. We got some people saying, holy crap, that's close.
Guys, chill out. Let's see.
So what are we talking about today?
Today, let me mute my computer. Don't want to be unprofessional. So today I wanted to talk about mixing business with pleasure, man. I don't know why. For the past several weeks, I've been having that conversation a lot with people that I've been working with. It's not nothing. Just a coincidence that I've been lately. That topic has been coming up in just casual conversation. And it's something that I don't think we've covered yet. I think I've vaguely mentioned my opinion on that, but nothing like too crazy,
Yep. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I thought that it'd be a great topic to talk about. But so as I was saying a second ago, I want to welcome everyone that's joining us live. I see we have several people already tuning in, and I'm sure more people are to come. Thank you guys for joining us live. For those of you that are not with us live, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, because you can be getting notified every time we go live, because just like today, it's very sporadic. So just want to encourage you guys to go live. To become a subscriber over at the iFilmmaker YouTube channel, and make sure that you can join the conversation live, ask us your questions. Bobby Hicks, Jared Hillhouse, I see you guys joining us live there, and yeah, be a part of the conversation. And we're not only on YouTube, we're also on Facebook. And just a question, how many of you guys, I would like to know how many of you guys would like to see us also go live on Facebook, because that is also an option. We can go live on both Facebook and YouTube if you guys prefer
at the same time.
At the same time. And I know that we can do it because I actually manage that for my church. It's one of the things that I do with the team at our church. I help them put that together, but that is definitely more work on our end, more specifically on my end. But I mean, if you guys are interested in that, just shoot me a message. Let me know that you're interested in that, and I don't know, see if that'll help. If not, we can just keep it right on YouTube, because actually this workflow with the Google Hangouts thing it's so simple. We don't have to worry about mixing back and forth and all that stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, not Twitter. So you can find us there at iFilmmaker Podcast for Instagram, and Mr. Cervitelli is at Jersey Filmmaker. And also myself on Instagram is at arielmartinez.tv, which just happens to be my website. So anyways, I'm actually looking for a different platform to host the podcast. I'm looking for the podcast to actually live on its own separate website.
Cool.
So I think that's a really good move to do, because
where's that from? Is that from above you or something?
I think it was because I have it's right out here, my window. There's people walking here, my neighbors and stuff like that from my complex. That was hilarious.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, they don't typically walk too much like by there, but that was just so funny. That was so awkward, guys. Did you make out what that kid said?
No, I had no idea.
He said, like, why did you leave me? That was so funny. Anyways, it kind of lost my train of thought.
We were just talking about Facebook and going live and stuff.
Yeah, we're on Instagram and all that stuff. So check it out, guys. You can go over there and check out our content. Oh yeah, so the website I want it to live on its own, and right now it's on my own personal website, but I kind of want to migrate it over to its own website. So where iFilmmaker is going to live freely and be able to expand and we can add different, much more content. So anyways, what's up, man?
Oh man, work, a lot of good things. If we're going to do an update, I guess, finishing up my feature length film, we're actually rendering a copy tonight and then we're going to watch it tomorrow to make sure that everything's good, and we're going to submit to our first festival on Sunday. And the deadline is Monday, so that's exciting. Our documentary I'm working on is also in post, closing in on finishing that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of other projects just starting up. We were talking about it before. I just got kind of bum rushed with a bunch of work, which is great. Not complaining about that. but my month has just kind of taken off. It was a very average to slow month even, which I was a little bit excited about, to have some more time to kind of work things out. I had like 4 days where I didn't really feel pressured to get too much done work-wise, and I got random things done that had been on my list, my to-do list. So I'm glad I cleaned a lot of those up, but now my opportunity to do anything else is just got shut down as of last night, because I got so much else coming in. But awesome stuff, man. You know, I'm
Poor
glad
you.
glad
Sucks to be you, man.
glad to have nice clients, and they keep coming back. So, and adding some random stuff as well.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Congrats.
You were
on
just
that.
traveling, weren't you? I mean, since we're gonna talk about that.
I was just in Dominican Republic, and that was more mission-based traveling. I was with my pastor, and we were doing some. I was putting together a short piece on the actual trip and helping them do some sort of live streaming from that end. And then when I came back the very next day, I had to go to Chicago, do some live streaming for Tyant. I was posting, about that and all that. So you can check all that out right there. Nothing crazy, The DR stuff was pretty cool. I always love traveling to other countries. I always think that's always.
It sounds like you're mixing work with pleasure.
I guess I am.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Actually, the only thing I hate about traveling to other countries is the customs. Like, it's so annoying. And thankfully, when I got to DR, the customs line was like 10 people. But when we came in 2 groups. The second group got there the day after we got there, and that custom line was like legit, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. They literally were there for like 2 hours just waiting those custom lines. Thank God I went.
Get that global entry, kid.
Oh my God, yes, I got to do that. Do that. It was like 150, right?
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's one of those multiple year deals too, I think.
Yeah, I definitely see myself traveling more internationally soon. So I got to get that. And plus, it's worth it. It's like 5 years or something like that. Even if it's just 1 year, that's just definitely worth it, I think.
Yep.
All right. So mixing business and pleasure. What's the deal with that? When is that okay? In what industry is that okay? And if you think it's okay, like, what are the parameters? I mean, one of the funny memes that I've seen online is, and it's true for a lot of filmmakers, videographers, and all that stuff, is a lot of people are usually expect you to do stuff for them for free, Yeah, especially, I mean, I think in all levels of your career, from when you start even till now, I'm sure, I don't know if people ask you to just do a quick video for them, or quote unquote quick video for them, another quote unquote simple, another quote unquote, it's gonna be,
it'll only take 10 minutes.
Yeah, man, those are the ones that to be nice about it. Those are the ones that you kind of have to like be very patient with on how you respond, because if you respond the way you want to respond, it seems like you would lose a friend, at least for me, So when people ask me to do that quick stuff, I always try to hold myself back, and then it gets easier. But what I mean is, like, these ignorant people do not know what it takes to make video, right? And if I was to tell them the way that I want to tell them, they're gonna look at me like all crazy, So how do you deal with that stuff, man? Like, especially me at my church, honestly. I'm, the video guy, and people know me that I make the videos and all that stuff. And people ask me all the time to make videos for them,
Yeah.
Throughout the years, I've become a lot more, I would say, I don't want this to sound mean. I'm not a mean person at all. I've just become much more cold about that kind of stuff. Like, so I'll say, look, man, I would love to help you. And it depends in what context they're asking me. Like, if they're asking me to make a quick video for ministry, right? If it's for their ministry and stuff like that, so it's for the church, right? there's a chain of command in there, you know, so you can't come to me because I can't make that choice. I'm not the one that makes the choice of what videos get made. There's people that they need to speak to. Now, when it comes to like, you know, I have a friend of mine that I've done videos with, right, for his business. And the way I approach it is very, very simple. Either this is a business transaction, and in that case, I will charge you as such. And if not, then I don't charge you, but you don't get to make like big demands, you know?
Right.
So to me, it's literally that simple. I know that you don't want to hurt people's feelings, and you want to be helpful. You want to be, you know, the nice person, right? And I think that especially when you're starting off in your career, you're always excited to do stuff like that because you usually don't have much to do. Either you don't have business or you just don't have projects to do, and people come along and say, oh, great, let's do this video. Have you ever had that? Like when you first started off, people that come up to you and just, hey, can you make this video for me? Like, sure, let's do it. You know? Now that's not the case. Now it's like things have changed completely.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same idea as turning down work even for not enough money, right? If someone offers you, even if they offer you money, eventually you get to a point where it's like you don't even want to accept something that's too little because it's just not worth your time. And that happens the same thing when people want free work. Of course, you have to decide if it's worth your time and whatnot. So that's this. I think it's along the same lines. I just noticed how out of focus I am. Sorry.
I was gonna say something.
You know why? It's over here, and I moved over to like shift that composition, so it's in the wrong spot. But I'll get that in a second.
Are you always on autofocus on that?
No, not always. But when I'm moving back and forth, I like to be because I have it pretty shallow.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I think it's along the same lines. Like, what's of value to you? You know, and we've talked about that before. So, yeah, if somebody comes and asks you back in the day when even a family member, we'd be doing things for a birthday or something like that. It's like, hey, let's make a video for their birthday. And it's like, oh yeah, great. I don't have anything else to do, you know? But now it's like, no, I really, you know what? I'd rather pay to buy them something nice because it's just not worth my time, you know? Like even though it'd be nice to put the time in, that's more valuable than a monetary gift of some sort.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, the money that's coming in that time frame that it would take me to make that is just so much greater. So like those things end up, you have to weigh those things eventually. So yeah, you know, whether you're doing something for work or someone asks you to do something nice, like you said, it's not that you're being mean, but there's a balance that becomes a lot more difficult. I don't want to say more difficult to manage. You just have to make more business decisions about it, I think, you know?
Yeah. When you're starting off, man, it's quite simple, dude. It's fun to do that kind of stuff, man. And yeah, when I started off, I was just looking to do projects anywhere and everywhere that I wanted to do projects, and it was fun and it was exciting. Not to say it's not fun and exciting now, but I'm not in a place anymore where I don't have anything to do. I have a lot of things to do now. So I have to just be more decisive with the projects that I decide to take on, you know? I would love to take, like, there's so many projects that I've heard that people want to collaborate on and things like that. And I cannot say yes to everything, you know? So I have to be more decisive. I have to make much wiser decisions. And yeah, man, and that unfortunately that comes with the territory of having to, I guess, reject people whenever they want to do a video project with you. And you know what? It doesn't always have to be cold like that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, here's a funny story. So when I used to play football, I had a injury that many people would consider a season or career-ending injury, but it wasn't a career-ending injury. I blew out my knee, basically. This was at Texas A&M. And I blew out my knee playing football. You ever heard of Von Miller?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was blocking Von Miller when I blew out my knee.
Really? I didn't know
that. Let me make something clear, though.
Well, at least
he
it's
did not blow out my knee. We were both at each other. I had him good. He was not getting anywhere. I had him. Anyways, and I
I'm
have been.
assuming he broke free and did what he
Heck
had to do.
no, heck no. Let me finish my story before you start making assumptions. Before
Yeah.
anybody here starts making assumptions. I was blocking Von Miller. He was not getting around me, and it was an out. I'm a wide receiver, so I'm out. I'm lined out. I'm lined up on the outside. I have no idea how Von Miller, and if those of you that are listening don't know who he is a defensive end. At the time he's an outside linebacker / defensive end. He came out to guard me man to man. And I wish it would have audible to like go for a bomb because I would have smoked him. Anyways, just putting that out there. They kept the outside run. It was an outside run to my side, so I had to block him. It was a stock block. Yep. I had to block him, and we got twisted and turned and all that stuff. And then my running back, as he was about to pass me, he got pushed. He was falling forward, and he landed right on my knee, on the side of my knee, and I kind of fell kind of to the left. Von Miller, who I was kind of tangled up with, ended up falling on top of me, right? And whatever, there's my knee. It got blown up completely. It was pretty nasty stuff, man. And side note, I did not cry. I did not shed a single tear. Anyways, just putting that out there.
That's one of those things that hurts so bad you just don't even, you can't even feel anything.
So it was at Texas A&M. There was like 72,000 people in the stands. There's so much adrenaline pumping. Yeah. I didn't even know what had happened. I was about to get up and play again, but I started feeling it a little bit after. Damn, the pain came slow. Anyways, my knee's blown out. Go to the hospital. Dr. Heckman is a fantastic doctor, and Dr. Uribe here in Miami. Those are actually the doctors that worked on Willis McGahee when he blew out his knee. Mm-hmm. So anyways, it was mostly Dr. Heckman was with me. He did my surgery. He did all of my follow-ups and all that. So we grew a good relationship between us and all that stuff. Even till today, like we still stay in contact every now on Facebook and all that. We stay in contact. And anyway, so his wife reached out to me because I met him again. I met his wife and everything. His wife reached out to me to do some sort of video for them, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the conversation that I had with her, I knew that they did not have a budget for this, right? And then later in the conversation, she says, we have $200, right, to start doing events.
This is the doctor's wife, right?
The doctor's wife, the doctor
that probably makes really good money.
Oh yes, no, but so I think this is a business transaction.
Okay.
Because she's actually starting a business for event
startup. Okay.
Yeah, it's a startup business. She wants to do event planning. She wants to start doing weddings and all these events and all that stuff, and she needs videos for all that, and she's trying to see if I'd be interested to get in there. And so my whole thing was, man, how do I tell her to go fly a kite without being so mean? Obviously, I didn't want to tell her that. I didn't want to be mean. So I, you know what? Very respectfully, I said, look, this is great. I think you guys have a great thing going on. I just don't think, because I had to explain to her, look, I just don't think it would be like cost effective for me to be able to be doing this stuff for you guys. But very quickly, I told her I would be more than happy to kind of recommend other people to do this, But she got the idea. I think she fully understood right away that, yeah, my time is way more valuable than that. I cannot charge that little anymore, and it's just where I'm at, and I'm sure other people are in a different stage in their life. Other people would be more than happy to. I would have been when I started my business from the beginning, I would have been more than happy to do that, Right. It's just that we're at different stages, and you just can't give things out like that, because that's time that I can possibly be making much more money, So yeah, I respectfully just told her, like, I'd be more than happy to help you find somebody else to do this. I cannot afford. And I put it that way. I kind of put myself as the victim. I said I can't afford to do that. Like I can't afford that, and it's not cost effective for my business. Right. So she was fully understanding and whatnot, and we were able to continue with a great relationship. And she was super happy that I was able to recommend other people for her. So I think that's a good way to, I guess, approach it. So yeah.
So let's back up a little bit. I'm interested if anyone is on this.
I did not cry.
No. I don't want to back up to that. I want to, if anyone on this chat live right now can respond to this and has been listening the whole time. When we went into this, even prior to us starting, we're as transparent as can be on this,
All
right?
right, let's do it.
So I thought when you were talking about mixing business with pleasure, I thought you meant like when we're on the road, because we travel quite a bit. It's like, when is it okay to enjoy your time, you know, and like, I don't know, see the sights or go out at night and have a drink, whatever. And it sounds like we're talking more about like work that is not
Yeah, like
necessarily a monetary reward. It's more pleasure or like a passion project, or you're helping somebody.
all of
Obviously,
that, all,
yeah,
all of that falls under the line of mixing business with pleasure. You're right. So yeah, I can definitely see the confusion. But yeah, I'm more talking about, you know, when is it a business transaction, or when are you just trying to help out a friend?
Sure.
You know, and that's more. And we could absolutely talk about when is it okay to have fun on the job.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's always okay to have fun on the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, to, you know,
I think there's a line to be drawn there
yeah, there
too,
is
which we can talk about.
absolutely. Like for example, Tyant is probably my biggest client right now, and they're basically, you know, my bread and butter and all that. But with Tyant, I have a high level of confidence with them because I know the owner, and we hang out all the time. We enjoy each other, and I can, through the years we've been building a much better relationship with them. I've been building a much better relationship with them, you know, where, you know, we do have a lot of fun on the job.
I think you would say that's more comfort, right?
Yeah, that's definitely much more comfort. Now, my first job with Tyant was not like that. My first job with Tyant was very professional. I presented myself as a professional, and I acted as a professional. And I think you should always do that with first-time clients, no matter what.
Of course.
As you get more comfortable with your clients, there's definitely a line to be drawn, no matter what. My job is my job, and even though we do have fun, they still expect me to produce the same exact way that I've been producing. So that is my first priority. So
yeah, I think it's very similar to, it's just a respect type thing, right? It's like if you were to meet somebody older than you that's a little more experienced in life, you would approach them and be very cordial and formal, right? Nice to meet you, shake their hand. But if you got to hang out with them 20 times, you know, maybe next time it's like, hey, what's up, man? You know, like it becomes much more comfortable, and you don't need to be so quote unquote professional, and you can, I don't want to say enjoy yourself more, but it just becomes a much more enjoyable experience as opposed to just straight business. And I think it's very similar, and I don't think that people should take it any differently than that when they're working. You know, you, again, like you said, early on, you have to be as business-like, professional as can be, and you develop that comfort zone, and you figure out how much you can open up, you know, as the relationship grows. It's all the same. Like, so I don't know how deeply people think about that, and if they're like, oh man, I have to be professional when I'm on the job all the time. Like, not that you're not being professional, but you know that those relationships build and you become more comfortable, and you could almost just be more you. Not that you shouldn't be you all the time, per se, but you know, that sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to develop those relationships, and it's the same in life. So I don't think that's like very far off from how you should treat everything or everybody in life. You know, or when you meet people, it should be respectful, and you can, I'm not saying you become disrespectful, but you know, those relationships build, and you can be more comfortable.
Yeah. And I kind of want to explain how is it that I came to this realization of how to deal with friends that are asking you for favors.
Sure.
And they want to I guess pay you, and when is it okay to let them pay you and whatnot. I think I just moved my camera there. So a while ago, this was like, I would say a year or two into my the late first year, early second year, I would say, when I was approached by, I guess, a friend of a friend, someone that I already knew, but I wasn't really, someone that was more of an acquaintance at the time. You know, they weren't really a friend to me. They're someone that they love to sing, and they want to make an album, not an album cover, a cover. of a song, and I think it was
Mm-hmm.
like an Adele song or something like that. So they wanted to make a quick cover with a song that was already out there, a music video.
Mm-hmm.
So she said they didn't really have a budget. So yeah, we had agreed. All right, cool. I think it's a cool project to do. I think it's something that I would like to definitely have fun with, and have
Mm-hmm.
flexibility with. And I'm like, all right, sure, let's do it. It's a fun project. Make a music video. I don't think I think, to be honest, I think that was actually, if not my first, one of my first, maybe it was my first music video.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually proud of it at the end. But anyways, going back to it, she come the day of the shoot, right? She rented out a full-on studio, a
Nice.
music studio. It looked nice visually, so we do the whole shoot right there at that. Well, actually, no, we had a second location, but that was a different day. But we spent the whole day at that studio, different corners of it. Really, really nice rock wall. Like, it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice stuff. The day of the shoot, her mom approaches me and she says, "Look, we want to pay you this." And she gave me a $200 check, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, $200, I'm not going to say no. The moment I took that check, whatever the day the shoot came,
You lost your creative freedom.
dude, that woman turned into a nightmare. Like, you have no idea, right? And again, I was still very new to this stuff. She turned into a nightmare. She wanted to get these crazy shots, right? She wanted to redo shots. She wanted to redo the edits, the different locations and all that stuff. My goodness. Listen, and I felt at that time, like there's nothing I can say because she gave me money for this stuff.
How was the post-production? So like you're talking about, she gave you money and on the spot she just became a little more director-ish, right? And started telling.
Right.
But what about in post? How did that go?
No.
Same, just terrible, right?
Change everything. Change everything. Like, oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
Never, ever again will I ever accept money, right? And if that would have happened today,
let's not take that out of context.
Listen, if yeah. Wait, take what out of context?
I will never ever accept money.
No. Okay, yeah. Let me be clear. If it's free, it's free, and we'll keep it free. And you have you cannot like make any major demands. Obviously, it's your video. I want to hear you out. Let me hear what you have, what your goal is, and let's work something out because I want to get creative too. I'm not, most of the time I'm not going to take a project and not get any sort of value out of it, the reason I took it's because I think it adds value to my reel. I think it would look really cool. And back then I had it on my reel. So, it just became a really bad situation, man. And yeah, it's cool to accept projects. Even today, it's cool to accept projects and collaborate, even if it's for free, but make sure you're getting into something that
is worthwhile.
That is worthwhile and something that you're not going to regret in the future. Because man, you really want to evaluate those kinds of projects and the people that you're working with, man. Because again, she was not like a legit friend at the time. She was more of an acquaintance. So I never we never hung out. I didn't even know her too well. She was a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a relative of a friend, right? And so it was just one of those things where I was more turned on about the project and what it can possibly do for me without thinking about the person or people that I'm working with here, Yeah. And then so I should have never accepted the money.
Yeah.
And even then, I should have just returned the money if I wanted to decide that. If I decided that that I just didn't want to continue on this,
Yeah.
I have
a situation. I don't want to say similar because it's not, but another free thing that I've done, right? And this was early on when I was still trying to figure out what it is I liked. And they're actually in the chat here. Some guys are going back and forth a little bit talking about this and figuring.
Yeah, let's go with the chat.
So I'm not going to read these word for word, but I read quickly through, and someone was saying, you have to take cheap jobs sometimes or free jobs to figure out what you like, and that's so true, especially early on.
Oh, for sure.
And one of the things I did was a wedding. You know, I've only done one wedding, and I didn't think I was going to like it going in, and I definitely knew I didn't like it after I was done. But it was for a friend, and I didn't want any money. I just said, I'm happy to do it for you guys for free. Wedding, it's your wedding gift. You know, I need to try it out anyways to see if I like it. I straight up told them that. So they're like, no, we'll pay you. I'm like, no, seriously, don't worry about it. I kind of went the route you're saying you should have, right? Like, don't worry about it. Don't
There
pay
you go.
So I did that, and not because of what you're saying, like what it could have been as a nightmare. I just wanted to be nice. Like, it's your wedding gift. Like, you're not paying me. I'm doing it for you. So I did it. You know, I get all the shots. I put it all together. I give it to them. They're happy. They love it. And they gave me afterwards a $200 gift card to B&H.
Hey.
And which was really nice of them, you know. And well, one thing is gift cards you can't return, so it's like you can't even like say, hey, no, take it back. They're like, what are we gonna do? Like, it's for you. But
I think gift cards are nice though.
Gift cards, it was great. It was great gesture from them. But my point is, I'm thinking now, after remembering that situation, comparing it to yours, if someone offers you money like that it's just a little bit and it's like, it's not worth taking because you could get yourself in a situation like you had.
Yeah.
Maybe you say, you know what? I don't want your money right now. When it's done, if you like it, you can throw some money my way, but I'm not taking that now. I'm sorry.
Oh, snap. Look at you.
You know, because then maybe you still make money on the back end a little bit, but you have your freedom and no one could like tell you what to do. Cause it's like, yeah, I'm doing this for free. And like, you know, I'll work with you, but you can't be pushing me around.
Preach it, son.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just from hearing your story and knowing
that's good, man.
I think that might be a way to.
So currently my method of mixing business and pleasure is, you know, I do wedding videos and I posted them and stuff like that. I think if they're nice enough, if I feel that they're, I guess, worthy, but I do them for free. I do friends and family. My wedding gift to them is a wedding video, right? That's what I do for all my friends and family and stuff.
Do you shoot it though? So like you're at your family or friends' weddings and you're just running around working?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oof, man, I've done it, but I don't like that. I'd rather enjoy the day, you know?
I do enjoy it, but I have a camera strapped to me. That's the difference. You know? It's like, I just like, oh, it's a nice part. Let me shoot that. And that's literally what I do for them. It's literally just a quick highlight video of their special day. And that's all I do for them. Let me put this out there. I hate doing weddings. You'll see me doing weddings, but if I'm doing a wedding, it's either because it's a friend or a family, or I'm getting paid a hell of a lot of money. Like I actually have one next week to shoot.
Really?
Yeah.
Paid?
Paid.
Wow.
And I'm not doing any post. I'm just as a shooter. So they just had one of
That's not so bad.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
Is there other shooters as well? Are you a B cam or?
I think I'm one of like 3 shooters, man.
Okay.
One of 3 or 4.
Yeah,
shooters.
that's not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's the guy that's directing it, like the whole thing. It's he does, you know, he gets a team to go get together. He specializes in this stuff.
Yeah.
He just wanted me as a shooter, and I'm like, all right, sure, definitely, I'll do it.
That's actually I wouldn't mind that. Not that I get on those jobs very often, if at all. No, actually, I don't get on those jobs. But like, if someone were to say, hey, can you come help me shoot, be a B or C cam, and you just get a day rate and hand it over the footage, that's fine. You get to create some nice, pretty shots for people in a special moment. That's cool. I just don't love doing. I just don't like taking that on as a project. It's just not for me.
Right. Yeah, and so that's currently how I kind of do that stuff. And my friends always like, we want to pay you, and I said, I don't want to take your money, and I don't want to tell them you can't afford my rate, but I know them. They wouldn't be too happy if I was to really quote them. But anyway, I said, look, man, it's my gift to you. I want to do that for you, you know? And just about all of them, when I'm at, toward the end, like one of them gave me a gift card. If you guys follow me on social media, which you should be doing, I post a lot of my coffee maker because I love coffee. I'm a big coffee fanatic. And I don't want to insult real coffee lovers. I love it fresh, like straight from the coffee bean and all that stuff. I'm a fan. I'm a coffee drinker. Anyways, I got my Nespresso machine and I love the little capsules and all that stuff. So they gave me a gift card for an espresso to get a bunch more capsules, and I thought that was really cool. I loved it. So that was a really cool post gift after the whole thing was done. So they're very appreciative. But yeah, coffee, gift cards and stuff like that, and post payment is actually not a bad idea. Tell them like let pay me at the end afterwards.
Yeah, if you like it, if you know, if you want.
That's a good idea.
I want to read one of these comments in the chat here. Jared Hillhouse said, "I turned down a job in the past 6 months that I felt was not a good fit for me, and the group it was for was very disordered and unorganized, and it seemed too big a mess that I didn't want to be involved."
That's good.
After that, which that's great decision. After that, the lady was trying to hire me. Went off about it, started spreading crap about my services. Some people still have a hard time with rejection, even in professional services. I'm interested in how you went about telling them that you weren't going to do the project, Jared. If you could type that in there, I want to hear that. Maybe we could get back to that in a few minutes.
Dude, you had a funny back and forth that you showed me.
I did?
Someone trying to inquire for your services. You were telling me this. We didn't talk about this on the podcast. And I don't even know if you want to talk about that, but I thought it was very funny. The guy was trying to hire you. You weren't available. You were trying to find other people for him.
Oh my gosh!
You heard his day rate. So share that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Actually, I need to find it though, because it was not that long ago, but it's enough where I don't want to. Oh, I found it already.
Nice.
Yeah, where I didn't want to.
All right, here we go. Just to set the ground. Someone found Mr. Saratelli on online through a directory, whatever, and then contacts him directly, and this is what happens.
Sure. So yeah, I got a straight up text message for a job inquiry. It says, "Hi Anthony, I'm looking for a camera operator for my Super 16 millimeter documentary at a certain spot in Jersey City," which is where I'm from. So in Jersey City today.
So the same day shooting.
That day. This was at, let me do timestamps so we know. That's at 4:30 p.m.
Okay. All right.
This guy, I say hi to this guy.
Ordinarily late notice, but okay.
Yeah, I say hi. I'm gonna leave out his name. He goes, I said, "I am personally unavailable today, but have shooters that I may be able to get to you. What time is it at, and what's your budget for the operator? And when you say 16 millimeter doc, do you mean it's about 16 millimeter film, or are you shooting on it? Because obviously operating a camera with 16 millimeter film would be a little bit different than operating a red. And like, you got to find that specialty. I couldn't even operate a 16 millimeter camera and know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'd have to find someone that, and thankfully I do know a couple people that can shoot film. So I was like, maybe I can still get him someone. So he says, shooting on 16 millimeter film. I'm just looking for 3 shots in my hotel room overlooking the river before my checkout time in an hour.
Wow.
$100. So let's talk about that. You need me there in an hour, and you only have $100. Like, for a very specialized type of shoot, $100. Anyway, so it's just, I mean, immediately I'm like, there's no way. 1, I wouldn't do it. 2, I don't know anybody that would do that on that short of notice, like for only $100 to just drop everything you're doing. Maybe, I mean, look, I want to be nice, and maybe if you have nothing to do and you just feel like going and doing that, that's great. But I mean, realistically, if I'm not gonna call people to say, hey, I only have $100.
I would not put my name on that either.
Right. And then also, as a business, I'm not going to hire somebody. I mean, I could be nice and just dish it out, which in a situation like this where it's minimal, I would. But usually I'm trying to make a cut on that too, you know, as a business. Right?
Of course.
So what am I going to make out of $100 if I'm sending somebody? Like, no. So anyway, I say, I'm sorry. There's no way I could get someone there. I don't say any of that stuff. You know, obviously I'm thinking it, but I say, I'm sorry. There's no way I could get someone there in that time frame or for that price in general. And I wasn't trying to be mean. I was actually just hoping he might say, oh, okay, I have a little bit more if you could really try to get someone here, you know, because I will not go ask people for only that much. If he could have came up with, I don't know, 2 or 3, maybe I could do that, you know? So anyways, he says it's more than enough for being a human tripod for 3 handheld shots.
Sounds that was like his lovely guy.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I didn't want to like come back and be very confrontational, But I was like, I'm sorry, I can't be of assistance. So his response,
you should have sent them a link of a tripod on Amazon. Do you get Prime Now there?
Yeah.
You should have sent them a link to a tripod on Prime Now. Here you go, buddy.
That would have been awesome. Funny. And his response was, just another pretentious crew member.
Beautiful.
Talking to me, I'm assuming. So at that point, I cut it off. I just didn't respond. And it's funny, when I read it to you, you're like, "Oh man, I would have went off on this guy."
Oh man,
I stopped. I stopped, and I blocked. Absolutely. And I blocked his number. I was like, because if I start, like, I might get myself in trouble. So
if you guys follow me on social media, you know that I pretty much always state my opinion on things. And when things like that happen, whether good or bad, I like to let people know about it. To a certain extent, obviously, but man, I would have put that guy
lit him up
last.
Yeah.
Put his phone number on it. No, I'm just kidding. I would have put his phone number, but my goodness, like all right. So to me, something like that happens, and I take it as a learning lesson. I think that posting just the conversation aspect of it, of everything that just happened, let people know, like, first of all, don't be a client like this douchebag here.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And respond in a professional way, I think, but sometimes a nice backhanded response would be nice. Like a link to a tripod, and you send it to a human tripod, like, here you go get your tripod, do your thing, buddy.
What happens, what I don't want to happen, is the exact opposite. Is I do that, then he blasts me. You know what I mean? Right. I was like, I better hold off here. So
it's good to have.
If I had met him face to face and he said that, I would have told him what I felt.
Oh yeah, it's good to have a record of the conversation. That way, That way you look. I guess that's a way of protecting yourself. Look, this guy was acting like this with me.
Yeah.
I told him to go flag high.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to be careful. I know that was just text, so that's not public, but it can easily become public. So it's anything like you responding on YouTube, responding on Instagram. Like, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you just got to be careful, because once it's out there, that's it. You know, like, I have this guy saying this stuff. That's it. Like, if I wanted to blow him up,
I
could, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not putting anything in writing that I might regret. I'm just cutting it off.
I wouldn't put any of his information, not even his name. I would take it, like, again, I'd take it as a learning experience. Just look at what this person told me. I wouldn't put a picture, a name, a contact, nothing. Just want to say, look at this conversation. The proper response is, look, I'm sorry, sir, I can't help you. If he gets worse, like he did with you, just send him a nice backhanded response. I think that it's somewhat appropriate. Some people would disagree with me, but that's okay.
Well, some people should be taught a lesson in a sense, but I try my best to stay away from it.
I don't care who you are. You don't get to treat people that way, buddy.
Right. So I try to just disassociate. That's just my way of doing it personally. Because it's just not worth my time. Like, I'm not going to deal with a person like that.
Yeah, Brandon got it right here. He says, you did right. If people have a problem with that decision, they're not people you want to be working with.
Yeah,
you definitely don't want to be working with people that are just horrible like that to work with. No way. Even if they were to pay you your regular day rate, just a response like that is just, to me,
I don't want to work with you.
I'd rather not work with you, man. It's just going to be a bad time. And I like to meet new people. I like to have fun and all that, and obviously still be professional, but you don't want to work with people that are just douchebags like that, bro.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that was an interesting text. It was just like a Sunday afternoon, real quick. I was like, "What? Where did this come from? What did I do?"
He probably had a bad day.
I want to get back to Jared's comments here, so let's finish that up. So he was one saying that he felt that the project was unorganized, and they went off on him, trying to spread rumors about his services, and he just feels that they weren't ready for that rejection. So the rest of it, I asked him, how he told them, if you guys heard me. So he says, all the contacts were done through Facebook and Messenger. After I got the info and did my research on the group with everything they wanted, live streaming the event, multicams, a full day plus, I stated to them, at this time, I'm not comfortable with being involved in this project. The response was telling me about how great they are and how the group is doing good and doing good things, and the the organizers have put so much time into the event and they don't understand why I would refuse. So I mean, I think you made a great decision if you felt that it wasn't organized and stuff. And, you know, people do get a lot more bold if you're talking on Messenger, people or Facebook, people get a lot more bold when you are not face to face, and they'll kind of let you know how they feel. And if you saw them face to face, be like, you know, I really mean that. I was just upset. But I just want to say, I think I'm just trying to think about how I would have gone about telling them no.
I think that when you tell anybody, regardless of what the reason is, of what you want to, why you don't want to do it. I think when you tell anybody, I'm not comfortable with being involved in this project.
Yeah, that's an insult.
That will automatically spark up a negative feedback from the person, you know, whether they want to do it or not, whether they're nice enough to kind of hide from that automatically, I think. So, you know, imagine somebody tells you, I don't want to be involved with you.
Right. It's just, that's why I'm looking at this. I feel like that's why I wanted to see how I responded, because I feel like
I'm not saying it's a bad choice, Jared.
No,
I'm just saying that maybe you could have delivered it differently.
Exactly.
Just perhaps kind of ease it in there. Let me give you.
I mean, what I would have done, this is why I was asking all these questions, is because I think I would have, I don't know if he quoted it yet. But after you find out more details, even if you had already given the quote, I would go back and re-quote it ridiculously if you felt like you couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. And then at least if you get that money, maybe you can help bring people in to help you organize it.
Sure.
If that's possible. It sounds like a live event. If that's not organized, I don't know how you could help that. But maybe you do something that's just ridiculous and you deal with the event for a ridiculous amount of money. Kind of thing.
You know, and another thing.
And if they say no, then there's no insult. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it for less than that.
Right.
You know.
That being said, though, Jared, you know, all that being said, I think you made the right decision in kind of not 100%. Wanting to be involved in it. And just another thing to think about, maybe if you would have offered an alternative. So one of the things that really makes and this is for any industry, like makes you an attractive individual in a professional world, is not creating problems for people, but making solutions for people. And sometimes that involves, so for example, when a client asks me to do something, right? And that I think it's way too much work for what they're paying me, right? I'm not going to say I can't do that because it's going to take this much time. My response is, okay, you want me to do this and it's going to take this much time, but look, what if we do something else? What if we do it like this, so it won't take as much time, you know, and I don't have to charge you more, and et cetera, et cetera. So finding solutions for people is usually something that helps. It makes you as a more attractive individual professionally, and always constantly trying to be solution-based rather than problem-based. Right. And when I say problem-based, I don't mean that you're the problem. I mean that delivering bad news, whether it comes from you or you're just a messenger, is still not an attractive trait. You know? People are looking at you when that news is being delivered, and it's just not very attractive. And that's just pretty much like the human psyche. Like they're hearing this from you, but if they're hearing a solution from you, that kind of helps play a good role into, I guess, your character and their view of you as a person. So I think that usually helps.
Yeah, a little more info. He wrote here. He said quoting is good, but for this, it was a nonprofit and they wanted it for free.
Absolutely not.
Of course.
And look, here's the thing. I'm more than willing to do I mean, I work for my church for free. Like I'm very aware of nonprofit work. Absolutely. And here's the thing. Nonprofits are great. I have nothing against nonprofits, but they do love to throw their name around a lot. They love to throw their organization, the fact that it doesn't make money, so you should give me your services for free, to make you feel guilty about not providing your services for free.
Yep.
I don't think that's a good thing. I think that it sucks. I understand if they don't have a budget, which is fine. Let's work something out. But you don't have to keep throwing it in my face that I should be providing this stuff for free. That is my own opinion on that.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Another solution is very similar along the lines you say is like offering a solution when they say free. If you're like, I can't offer my services for free at the moment, but you know what? I know somebody that might be able to help
Absolutely.
you. If you know somebody, don't just throw somebody under the
Right.
bus.
That's
So
a
that's
solution
always an
base.
option. Yeah. Man, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
So
you
again,
have to use keywords. Like when you said don't throw anybody in the
yeah,
bus, I think like, look, I can try and find somebody for you. You
yes,
know, that's something that kind of tells them you want to help them. You're
but
still on board.
even if you know
And
you can't,
right, it won't be you, but
yeah,
you kind of get your way. You don't guarantee that you'll find someone. You can say you'll try to find somebody for them.
yeah,
Give them something that kind of lets them feel that you're trying to help them. Even though you don't think you could, you always want to give them some sort of hope. I'm not saying give them false hope. I'm saying give it a try. Maybe text a buddy, say, hey, I have this going on. See if you're interested.
yep.
I do that with Mr. Cervatelli all the time. I give him all the stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm bogged down. But yeah, dude, I mean, that's just part of like being in running a business and stuff. You don't want to burn any bridges, no matter how good or bad you think they may be. You never know where they're going to lead. You never know when someone's going to put you on blast. You never know that stuff. So even when there's a situation that you want to wiggle out of, like you have to try to figure out the best way out of it. And Jared, like we're saying, we think you made a great decision, but the way you told them, I think could be taken as an insult, and that's probably why they reacted that way.
And look, all this being said, I am not justifying their response. They should have never responded that way. I think that they're incredibly wrong for doing that. And for that, I think that, even better that you made that decision to not work with them.
Yeah.
Because they should have
never seem like good people to work with.
Never put you on blast like that. So good job for not taking that job. I want to go ahead and say, and Brandon, we're going to get to you, buddy. I see you writing here. I want to get to a quick, very minor story that I just remembered now. So I have a big client over in London that I do work from. Their name is it's a huge YouTube channel called Barcroft, and I do several pieces for them. You ever heard of them?
No.
So anyways,
it actually does sound familiar, but I can't like.
Yeah, so they do a lot of special interest pieces, very on my line of work, and they pay me to do these small, just for shooting, and then I send them the footage to do all the editing and stuff. So it works out for me. So I do a lot of work for them, and they're the ones that I did design on piece one, when they hired me to do Zion first, and that's how I first met Zion. Anyways, one time, they were inquiring again about another job, another shoot date to do a shooting there. And before I heard what the topic of the story was, I accepted it because I saw that I was available. So I figured, all right, it's not a problem, just another shoot. And then once we confirmed the date, we did everything. They told me the subject matter, which I kind of don't want to say here, but they told me the subject matter, and then that made me very uncomfortable.
Sure.
I'm a big believer. I'm a big Christian, and it was just something that I wasn't comfortable covering myself.
Yeah.
So I kind of stepped on my own toes there. I'm like, crap, I should have known what they wanted me to cover before I did it.
Sure.
And it definitely made me uncomfortable as a spiritual Christian person. So I knew for a fact I had to get out of this somehow. How do I tell them that I just confirmed with them? That I just confirmed with them that I was available. Now I have to tell them I'm not available. And unfortunately, man, there was no easy way to do that. I just had to go in there and just write out, tell them, look, I'm sorry, I cannot help you with this project, but I'd be more than happy to find somebody else to cover for me.
Right.
And to me, I have my own convictions. I have to tell them the real reason.
Sure.
I have to tell them the real reason why I'm not going to lie to them. I'm not going to tell them that I just wasn't available. So they asked me, okay, not a problem. Just out of curiosity, because I think they knew, they had an idea that why it was. They just want, I guess, to clarify. And honestly, I thought I was going to lose this client forever.
Yep.
But no, it was actually fine. They asked me just out of curiosity, is it because you're not available or are you just not interested in the story? And I just told them outright, I'm just not interested in the story. It's not something that I feel comfortable covering. So they were super okay with that. I gave them my recommendation. It worked out. My guy did it. And he got paid. I didn't even want to cut out of that. It's fine. And they were very appreciative of my honesty and all that, and the integrity. And actually, I still work with them today. I still do a lot of stuff with them, and those are the people that I enjoy working with. and people that are very understanding like that. So again, I gave him a solution, right? Obviously, it is a problem that I confirmed, and I had to back out from that confirmation. But I gave him a solution right away. And I always do that. Like, I never give people bad news without trying to have a solution right away.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
So before I even told them that I couldn't do it, I had already texted several of my friends, said, hey, I have a job that I cannot do. Can you cover it on this day? Once I got 2 confirmations, right, 2 of my friends that were available those days, I said, look, it's not confirmed. Let me just get back to my client, right?
Yep.
I contacted my client. Hey, look, I cannot do it, but I have 2 people that are ready to do it if you're available, if you want, right?
Yep.
So automatically, I just wanted to make sure that they were okay.
You're not just leaving them high and dry, you know,
exactly.
so that they feel a lot better about that.
That's the worst thing you can do for a client. And I just let them know that, look, I won't be able to do it personally, but I have other people that can cover it. And if that's okay with you, I would love for them to do it. I guaranteed them, look, they do great work as well and all that. So that was something that I did for them.
Hey, very interesting. Brandon Fountain said he got out of editing that feature film. I was going to ask how that was going because remember we were talking about that. Oh man, Brandon, type some more about what's going on with that. I want to read that when we finish up here before we close this out. But he's out of it, right? Because you knew you couldn't finish it, right, man? I'm sorry if we discouraged you, but dude, that would have been tight. So you might have made the right decision. I want to hear more about it, but anyways.
So I want to go back and read some of Brandon Fountain's story here. It says, this is crazy. I'm actually about to do a live stream for a nonprofit, and I told her I would do it. The thing is, I told her we won't start off with 3 cameras. I have 2 with the Sling Studio. I'm very interested to know how that Sling is. Yeah. So starting out, she pays me $200, but as we progress, I'm expected to get more, and the live stream is just for an hour. So yeah, helping by finding a solution or meeting in the middle does help.
So I guess it's not. Brandon? Are you saying it's not enough, and you want to figure out how to either get more money or back out of the project, or like somehow meet in the middle, or finding them a replacement? Sounds like that. Is that, do you think I'm right?
I guess I kind of didn't see the problem.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the problem. Maybe he can elaborate a little bit on there.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I like this convo. That was good.
He got out of
the feature film. But yeah, Jared, thanks for chiming in, man. And we weren't trying to blow you up by any means. Like we said, I don't think he made the right. I don't think so either. But I just want to be clear. I don't want people to be nervous to type that we're gonna make our opinions on what you do or don't do. But we're just trying to help everyone, and hopefully it's taken that way.
So Brandon followed up and says, no, she wanted something big, but I told her what I could do. Yeah, that's all you can do.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he found a solution. Okay, so that's what it was. So starting off 200, and then they progress. It's just an hour long. Okay, so yeah, he met in the middle. I guess they found some sort of solution to make it all work. She wanted 3 cameras. It was probably a lot bigger. He dropped it down, 2 cameras, a couple hundred. All right, cool. Yeah, so he did exactly what all the stuff we were talking about.
Right.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, yeah, it says she was okay with it, and she agreed to still work with me. But we have a partner.
Great.
And now we have a partnership. That's great, man. That's good, man. That's what this is all about. You have to find solutions and find some common ground there. And if you can't, then unfortunately, I mean, you might just, you know what? And backing away from a project might just be the best thing you can do, because you might be walking into something that you're going to definitely regret. I've learned that the hard way. I'm sure other people have. So yeah.
We might have a new episode name. Daka, D-A-K-A. It says this episode is all about finding solutions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it might be a good title for this one. And yeah, but
mixing business with pleasure and finding solutions.
It could be. Anyways, I think that's where we're going to end today's episode. I think it was a great one, very informative. I'm glad we were able to share our experience with this stuff. Mixing business with pleasure, doing jobs for our friends and our families. When is it okay to not work with someone, and just finding solutions for your clients and potential clients?
Yeah.
So I think that all was really good.
Yeah.
Just want to remind you guys once again, I want to thank the people that joined us live, joined the conversation. We were able to answer your questions and actually sparked up different aspects of this topic. I think it was really, really good. And that's what we're going live for. The reason we do this live is so that you guys can join us, ask your questions. It's easy on us, easy on you.
I really love this, man, when we can get into conversations, especially when it's about real life situations. This stuff, you know, we get on here, you guys know we don't get paid for this. This is something we enjoy doing. And the everyday grind of what we have to do sometimes, we talked about this, a week or two ago. Like, you know, this is such a nice, I really enjoy when you guys can get in on this and we have something cool to talk about in the chat, because I really did forget about anything else I have going on right now for the last 45 minutes or whatever.
Now you remember, and, you're freaking out, your back's up against the rope now.
Yeah, no, I got 10 minutes before a phone call meeting. So yeah, we got to wrap this up and then I got to get right back to everything else. But awesome. So thankful that you guys join us, because it's just really nice to chat with the community, you know, and meet you guys and be able to hash out problems. And that's what we're here for, you know?
That's awesome, man. And just a reminder, guys, we are on YouTube. Go over to our YouTube channel, iFilmmaker, subscribe, get notified, turn on that notification, that little bell, and get notified every time we go live. Mr. Cervatelli is putting out some good content over at the Jersey Filmmaker YouTube channel. Check that out. Follow us on social media. It's at iFilmmaker Podcast. Mr. Cervatelli is at Jersey Filmmaker. Yes, mine is at arielmartinez.tv. All that information, you can find that on the show notes over at ifilmmakerpodcast.com. Check that out. And continue to follow us. We're currently in the process of expanding our team. I'm actually just hurt myself. So we're currently in the process of expanding our team. Again, as I mentioned before, we're trying to find a nicer we're developing a nicer website to be able to host all of these episodes on, and basically take this whole thing to the next level. Looking for sponsorships so that it can help us expand this from what it is to make it even bigger. We would love to include more tutorial videos, interview, blogs on that new website. And I think that it's a great step in the right direction for all that stuff. So thank you guys for following and listening and tuning in. Remember, this episode is on YouTube, it's on iTunes, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Google Play, and I'm currently trying to get it on Spotify. That would be a great platform. A lot of people have that. So thank you, everyone that tuned in, and we'll see you on the next episode of the iFilmmaker Podcast. Mr. Cervatelli.
Later,
dude.